Good afternoon. Yesterday, I attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a new Josiah Quincy Upper School building. The Quincy School has been a beacon of hope for public education since the 1800s and is now one of the best and most diverse schools in our Commonwealth. My visit to the new Quincy Upper School site was a powerful reminder that there is nothing more important to the future of our city than the education of our children. Setting the future course for Boston Public Schools requires leadership that represents our communities. Today, I am announcing important steps to move the Boston School Committee forward with greater equity and opportunity. I am proud to announce my appointment of Betty Francisco to the Boston School Committee nominating panel. She is a Boston Public School parent, a Dorchester resident, and co-founder of Amplified Latinx. I know Betty to be a thought leader and a problem solver, and I'm thrilled that she will begin her service today. Along with Lori Ciardi, Tony Barrows, Jerry Holland, Angelina Camacho, Michelle Cannon, Joanne Freeman, Michael McGuire, Susan O, Valerie Roberson, John Reardon, Rhoda Snyder, and William Thomas, this panel will guide the application process for new members of the Boston School Committee. The nominating panel will recommend school committee nominees for my consideration within 30 days. I want to invite all those who care about the future of Boston Public Schools to consider this important opportunity to serve. The nominating panel will open applications for new school committee members tomorrow, Thursday, June 17th. All Boston residents are eligible to apply on boston.gov. Even as membership of the school committee changes, my dedication to the needs of the Latinx community remains steadfast. More than 40% of Boston school students are Latino. With the resignation of 2 Latino leaders, there is a void that must be filled. Recent media reports have placed the legacy of racial discrimination in our schools front and center. As a Black woman, I am no stranger to the negative impacts of racism. I know we must build trust with each other and find common ground. In order to heal, we must find the courage to call out racism and commit to the shared work of tearing down the structures of bigotry and discrimination. Healing these wounds starts with informed conversations and the tools to create shared solutions. To that end, I am extending racial equity and leadership training, otherwise known as REAL, to all members of the Boston School Committee. This training is also being provided to all City of Boston staff under the leadership of Selena Barrios Milner, who is the Chief of Equity and Inclusion, and Lori Nelson, my Chief Resilience Officer, and they are both here with me today. This training will be a first step towards setting new rules of engagement among committee members, families, and all those with a stake in our schools. Equity in Boston Public Schools cannot wait. As mayor, I am committed to creating opportunities for all children in Boston Public Schools. As it relates to a review of exam school admissions that began last fall, the work group has worked over the past few months hosting 19 public meetings, which included public comment and provided interpretation in 9 different languages. There will be an update from the work group to the Boston School Committee tonight, and the engagement process will continue through the following weeks. Together, working with families, staff, and stakeholders, we will begin a new chapter of equity and opportunity for our students in Boston Public Schools. Changing subjects. Yesterday, Governor Baker lifted the Massachusetts state of emergency, ending a chapter in our city's triumph over COVID-19. While COVID-19 is not over, we have good news to share. We want to continue to see the trend head in the right direction with fewer cases, low positivity rates across all neighborhoods. During the last 2 weeks, the average number of new daily positive cases has been under 25, bringing the total cases to 70,912. The success of our vaccine effort, led in large part by our Chief of Health and Human Services, Marty Martinez, who is here today, is playing a critical role in drastically reducing the spread of COVID-19. We are boosting vaccination in communities hardest hit by the pandemic by partnering with trusted community-based organizations. Getting a vaccine continues to be the best way to protect ourselves and our loved ones and our communities from COVID-19. To date, 55% of our residents in Boston are fully vaccinated. Getting vaccinated, wearing our masks, and washing our hands will continue to keep us safe. Our battle against COVID-19 is still not over. We need to get folks vaccinated, so please do not miss your shot at hope. Get the vaccine today or information from a trusted source if you have questions. I'd like to close on more good news. For the very first time, the City of Boston will officially observe Juneteenth as a holiday on Monday, June 21st, 2021. Juneteenth commemorates June 19th, 1865, the day that enslaved black people in Galveston, Texas, learned of the end of slavery in the United States, a full 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. Juneteenth is a time to gather with loved ones and celebrate how far we have come as we continue to do the work to dismantle structural racism. The traditional Juneteenth celebration will take place at Franklin Park. This is the Roxbury Homecoming celebration at Franklin Park near the Shattuck Hospital from 12 to 6 p.m. For those who choose to participate, I encourage you to be safe, practice social distancing, wear your mask, and enjoy the festivities. Thank you for your time and attention, and now I will take a couple of questions.
Mayor, what's your view on how long you're able to appoint a school committee member for?
Excuse me?
What's your view on how long you are able to appoint a school committee member?
So a school committee member who is appointed under my tenure will run concurrent with my tenure. Yes, sir?
To clarify, are you committing to appointing Latinx representatives to the vacancies on the school committee?
We certainly encourage any eligible Bostonian to apply. There is a void of Latina leadership with the resignation of 2 Latina women who were strong advocates for equity in our schools, and I do seek to fill that void.
Yeah, the Globe had filed a public records request in the fall for the text sent between school committee members during the October meeting, but the messages between the 2 members who resigned were excluded. Can you provide any sort of explanation for this, and do you believe that public records law was violated by this?
I'm not sure what happened last fall before I became mayor, but this is certainly under review. We want to understand what happened, and we will make more information available later this week.
Do you have a timeline when those positions will be filled for the Boston School Committee?
Well, the applications will be open tomorrow, June 17th. The nominating panel will review applications. They will interview candidates. They will recommend 3 to 5 finalists to me, and then I will appoint new school committee members. So it will probably be a number of weeks, but I cannot say exactly what that timeline will be.
2 people?
Well, yes, there are 2 vacancies, and so we want to fill both of those vacancies. Thank you. Thank you.